We're all in the auto care, the automotive aftermarket together.
Don't be afraid to ask a dumb question, because certainly there's someone else in the room that has that same question, right?
Bill's philosophy, we'll make you more money than you pay us. Hell, would have thought of ChatGPT,
I know.
3 years ago, writing your emails for you.
You have to tell the truth, and don't be afraid to tell the truth, right? If you don't know, just say you don't know. It's okay. You can get the answer and come back later. I've been doing it a long time, and it is fun. Every day is different. It's
You
fun.
smile a lot.
I still do it. I love it.
Okay, welcome everybody to another Carpool Conversation. I'm Jacki Lutz, and I have a special episode today. So this last fall leadership days, I sat in on a couple different committees that I've never sat in on before, and one of them was man reps. And I was just trying to kind of gather, what are our members talking about in these different groups, and I ended up sitting at the man reps committee for a while because I was so interested in everything that was going around the table. And I actually thought that a lot of those subjects would make a really good episode. So I reached out to them, and the two lucky victims that ended up being called out are Darrell Wade, Senior Director of Organic Growth at N.A. Williams, and Brad Baker, Senior Vice President of Traditional Sales with Bill Murray and Associates. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
First podcast for both of you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. And you guys aren't nervous. You're excited.
I'm nervous.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Nervous and excited.
We do.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited because you guys get to talk about something that you both have a ton of experience in, being a man rep. And we're just going to open the audience's eyes a little bit, into the world that you guys live in every day. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
So let's start out just talking about being a man rep. What does that mean for anyone new to the industry who might not know what man means? What is a man rep?
Yeah. So great question. So, the manufacturer's representative is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And, every day is different. So there's no typical. So for the last, 30 years, I've called on one major account, right? So for me, it was coming to the office every day and going to their office every day, right? But for our traditional people, they're out in the field every day. So they're windshield time and coordinating schedules, and it's completely different for them than it is for me. And and every day is different. You never know what the fire drill du jour is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's two different avenues, really. So Darrell's side of thing has been, we're going to call it a retailer. Like you said,
Yeah.
One customer, one office for him. So he's got vendors that we represent.
Mm-hmm. Vendors being suppliers.
Vendors, our suppliers.
Yeah.
Everybody that's here, a lot of them use manufacturers' representatives as their sales force.
Okay.
Instead of a direct sales force. So our two companies represent some top quality, suppliers, in both the retail and the traditional aftermarket. My specialty is the traditional side of things. So, we've got a sales force across the nation that like Darrell will say, you spend your day driving from one to the other, selling a program and a product through that distributor, downstream. And it's the same way with these retailers.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in the same world together. Yeah. We're competitors. When it gets down to it, but we're all in the auto care, the automotive aftermarket together.
Yeah.
So
you guys do have a great banter in that room.
Well,
it was quite fun to watch. Everybody was kind of, throwing everybody under the table, but laughing about it. At the committee meeting. It was very fun to watch.
Because you've got, how many, 18, 19 on it?
Something like that. Yeah. It's a lot of big personalities, right? You do what we do, and you're used to talking to people, and you don't mind talking in front of people, but you got a bunch of big personalities in that room. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to make fun of each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Tear each other down so you don't get too big a head.
And half are retail and half are traditional, or,
Is that rivalry or something?
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say
it's from my world. I'm sitting, at our home office in Birmingham, and you're at your home office in Atlanta.
Yep.
And you have to hear the glory of one side or the other. And I'm going, hey man, you're sitting right here. But Bill does that on purpose. And I know Chris does as well, but, we are an entity, of each one of these suppliers to our prospective market channels.
So what would be some of the benefits of having a sale, like working with sales reps versus having your own sales reps?
So glad you asked. So, I try and explain it this way. Said manufacturers that use manufacturers representatives usually fall into two categories. They can be a large organization that has their own dedicated sales force, but they lack a certain expertise at a particular customer or market, and we can fill that void for them. So they'll utilize our services in that area. Or they're a small organization. They don't have anybody. So they'll have a national sales manager, and then they utilize our services to be their field sales team. So they train us, educate us, and then we work together with them.
So rather than them paying 5 people full salaries.
And we are a fixed cost to sales.
Okay.
So we are cost effective.
Okay. Understood.
I'm trying to remember what Bill's philosophy is. We'll make you more money than you pay us.
Oh, there you go. That sounds like a really good deal.
Okay.
I'm finished.
All right. That's a wrap.
We're 5 minutes into it. I'm great.
Well, what are some of the challenges?
I'll tell you.
If you're going to say it out loud, there's, we've got a lot. Sometimes we've got a lot per customer, if that makes, sometimes we represent 5, 10, 15 different things to that one customer. And you try to give each one of them the ample amount of time that they deserve, because every one of them, when it gets down to it, we work for them. Mm-hmm. We have the relationship individually with that customer, but we also have to bring that relationship to our vendor, and make sure that we give them an honest, attempt and give them the time that they deserve.
Yeah.
Each one of those customers. So that's a challenge.
It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And I'll say, you're absolutely right, Brad. But I'll say, the next to that, I would say it's education. It's, we have to continually prove ourselves in our value, so we invest in continuing education for our team. We have, I think 43 or so associates now that have gone through Delta and Associates training. And that's valuable. We've sent people to Leadership 2.0. We do AAP, MAAP, just continuing education. So you're always engaged. You're always up to date. We need to try and be the best we can, because that's what our manufacturers are going to expect from us. So we try and do that and just demonstrate, again, why? To demonstrate our value and our worth, our channel value to our principals.
Yeah.
That Delta 2.0 is tough. I sat through one day of that years ago at a big retailer, and I'm going, nope. This is not my world. So I've got strengths and weaknesses, and that is not strength.
It's not a strength.
Yeah. So this is gonna sound braggadocious, and I don't mean it to be so, but I love data. I love numbers. I love Microsoft Excel. Right. So we were going through Delta training, and we got to, this is like day 3 or 4 or whatever, and they're going through charting and graphing in Excel. And I got it all done so fast. I said, can I help the others? So I'm up and I'm helping the others go through and do it. I'm that guy. I love it so much. It's a sickness, but I do love it.
It's funny. I remember when we were having our pre-meeting, one of you, I don't remember who, but somebody mentioned the word changeover.
Yes.
And it turned into a rant.
It is a rant.
So,
somebody, somewhere, they're probably in hell, invented the automotive aftermarket philosophy of, let's take this from one box, put it in another.
Yeah. I don't know who on our side ever said, you know what, we can go do that for you.
yeah, I have an idea.
And I've sat in several meetings. I remember one time I had my own small agency, and we were sitting at a customer with my supplier, and the customer said, well, I've got 90 stores that have to have a changeover. And this was believe it or not, it was in the engine parts business, which is complicated, with lots of small pieces, big pieces, heavy pieces. And the supplier goes, well, Brad will do it. And he goes, and I go, 90? 90 stores? And he goes, yeah, we'll get it done in 30 days. And I'm going, you're out of your mind. Dude's still here.
So, yeah, I think when you start talking about changeovers, the first thing that always comes up is, what are we changing over? Because they don't really want to know what it is. What they want to know is how heavy
it is.
Oh, yeah.
Start getting into calipers and brakes and axles.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh, it's awful.
So it's not like, I'm coming from a supplier world where we have sensors, right? So I'm thinking in my head like a TPMS sensor in a little box. I'm like, that seems annoying, but like.
I'm done. We'll do it all day long. Happy to do it.
So you guys are doing.
You're doing something heavy? Doing brake rotors? No,
thanks.
Yeah, okay.
We did.
That's hard.
This is my true story. So I'm not a gearhead. Never changed my own oil, changed my own brakes ever growing up. My dad never did either. We always took it to somebody that did. I got a job in the aftermarket, and I started for a sales rep agency. And the first day we were changing over universal joints. And the guy that was kind of like the territory manager, and I was literally, I graduated college like on a Friday, and this was Sunday afternoon. And he goes, do you know what a U-joint is? And I go, nah. And he goes, you don't know what a U-joint does? I said, no idea, but I'll guarantee you by Friday, I'll, have changed over 10,000 of them, or take it from one box to the other and put it in another one. And he goes, yeah, you're going to do about 10,000. And I said, all right. So that was first day on the job.
So what's the purpose? Is it a new brand? Why are we changing boxes?
It's
maybe like a different.
Again, somebody invented this. It's a cost savings.
Okay.
The merchandise that's in the box, a lot of times you can't sell it. It's good merchandise. Mm-hmm. It's just going from one supplier to another supplier. And you literally are, if you're reboxing, you're taking it out of a box, putting it in a new box.
Okay.
There's a stock lift is the other side of that, where you're taking it literally off the shelf and putting your brand up.
Yeah.
But still, you've still got that merchandise to try to go find a home for or write a credit for. It's just a vicious
like there's
circle.
some built-in PTSD.
It's all.
Yeah. There is.
I mean, God knows how many you've done. I mean.
It's just part, it's part of it. So here's the disclaimer part. You said, hey, we're happy to do this, right? We're glad to do it. Usually now I can find somebody to go do it for me.
Yeah.
Which is great. But
so my wife does the same. She goes, what the hell are you doing? You've been in this business for 36 years. How many more changeovers you got to do? A bunch. Hopefully that means you've got some new business.
That's right. We're happy to do it.
But some of them are off. But yes, Darrell's right. When they start mentioning, brake rotors, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. Keep it. I don't want that business.
Keep your money.
these brake suppliers are going, but Brad, what are you talking about? I don't want to do a changeover.
No, thank you. So what are some of the skills that make up a good man rep?
He's displaying it right now. I mean, we have a
tolerance.
You've got to have a personality.
Mm-hmm.
An A type,
you mean?
type personality.
I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought more like a friendly, not that type A isn't friendly, but more like chaos is okay.
No is a part of our world. I mean, we've been told no a gazillion times. That's why,
Yeah. And you can't take it. We don't take anything personally. It's business, right? So it's not personal,
right?
But you have to be able to talk to people, and it's about making connections. And we were talking, earlier about, I'm out at dinner with my wife, and I'll talk to everybody, and she's like, why do you do that? Or she's, I shouldn't say it that way. It's more like she's like, you can talk to anybody. And she's like impressed that I can do that, because she wouldn't do that. She's a little more introverted.
No, mine is too.
But I'm like, yeah, hey, this is just what I do. I talk to people. You make a connection. So, I think that's probably for me, and what I have done over my career is it's the people.
Yeah.
It's always about the people, and you make those connections. And it's also secondarily, it's about being organized. You have to be organized. You have to know how to get from point A to point B, and then what happens next, how do we get to point C. So it's type A type stuff. Brad's right. It's about being type A.
So I'd be horrible.
I'm not organized.
No, it is.
But I'm still making it happen after all these years.
You're like a type A 0.5.
Yeah, I'm going, I can't do this, but my wife always says less is best,
Yeah.
Brad, because I'm the same way, could you just quit talking every once in a while?
Yeah.
I'm trying, baby. We've been married a long time and I've been doing this for a long time. So,
Yeah.
but it's I think that's probably one of our best attributes as a manufacturer's rep, because we can, we have to make our suppliers comfortable with us. Number one, our organization. Number two, and because you're selling to yourself first, as individual, and then obviously our relationship with our customers is what makes the difference between a good manufacturer's rep and one that's not.
Yeah.
Do you guys find that this, I don't know, what do you guys call yourself? This part of the industry, what are you? You're not a channel.
No.
Service?
We're more of we're an outsourced sales, agency. So
Okay.
yeah, so
it's
we're
like
more
a
of we're more of a service.
So is this changing a lot with the generation coming up? Do you see that the skills that you guys kind of grew up, in this industry needing to be successful as a man rep, are those things changing? Is the new generation bringing, new things to the table? How are things evolving?
Yeah, I think the new generation, they are bringing new things to the table. They're different in a very good way. They're so smart. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so smart. And what we have, Brad and I, and our ilk, we have experience. We've done this a long time. The challenge for me, and Brad, I'd be interested to know if you agree, is that we have to somehow bring them along, bring the next generation along, keeping them doing what they're doing, the way they're comfortable doing it, and not tell them what to do. We have to give them the
rope.
We have to give them the rope to grow and learn. But if I just tell them, they're not going to learn that. They need to do it their way. And that's how they're going to succeed. And maybe that's more of a challenge for me than for the next generation, but they're so smart.
Yeah. Well, whenever I hear about people business, that's why I love this industry so much. I'm a people person. I love people. I get to exercise a lot of my favorite skills every day in this industry. But a lot of things are changing that to an extent. And I imagine, that younger generation is the one bringing in AI. Like, we can really get a lot more efficient here if we use this or that. And some of that humanity starts to go away, which is some of that's okay. Some of it you want to keep, So I can imagine that this being such a heavy people role, is there a challenge there that you guys are finding at all?
I think there is. And I think the challenge is, like, for our organization, we're 90 years old. Right. So there's a lot of history there. We're third generation running N.A. Williams, and we've got the fourth in the pipeline. They're working with us. It's a beautiful thing. But I think that, the challenge is that we need to figure out how to blend that history with, the AI environment. Mm-hmm. And it's a slow go. Yeah. But when we see a synergy and we see that it'll work, we jump right in and we'll do it. But it's a slow go.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
This generation, they are brilliant. They're smart. They're a little bit hesitant, I think, on the people's skills. If that's going to sound like a negative, but it's really not. They've
we just not practiced.
Yeah.
And that's where the experience that Darrell and I are talking about. We've been in the business 36 years for myself, and these people that are, my son's one of them. He's my legacy coming into the agency. Bill Murray and Associates is third generation.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Rolling. Bill Murray's dad started it 50 years ago. So. And that seems like a long time, but you said 90 N.A. Williams?
Yeah.
A long time. Some of one of the longest standing agencies. And it's a, mentorship. I know you did that with the Yang group last night. You had your mentors there, but sometimes we may come as, across as somewhat know-it-alls, but we're just trying to help, bridge that gap of the experience level to get them up to the leadership roles that they're all going to be at soon.
Yeah.
But the data skills, their computer skills, their analytical skills, the way that the world is changing with AI, with everything. Who the hell would have thought of Chat GPT,
I know.
3 years ago writing your emails for you? But this old dude can see one from a mile away.
Yeah.
You're reading it going, you don't know what that word means.
I see it on like LinkedIn and stuff.
You're going, what do you do for a living?
I don't judge it. Like, I'm like, they had a thought. They had a thought. They're not that great at putting that thought into words. Not everybody is. But now we get to see what they were thinking, even though they didn't necessarily write the whole poem. But, like that thought was there, that,
But that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the most glamorous. I mean, we're not, working on Wall Street, but this is an important entity.
Yeah.
What we do for a living.
Mm.
That everybody here, all sides of it, we drive vehicles, currently we're still working on petroleum base. I know that the EV is, is coming on, but everything's going to break. Even if you have a bulletproof EV vehicle, that's fine. There's still components on that vehicle that are going to have to be replaced. We have a mandate from our perspective, from what we're all here for. We're going to get to it eventually in our next 5 minutes or 20 minutes or however, the right to repair.
Yeah.
It's extremely important.
Yeah.
Everybody here has a responsibility, from the suppliers to make a part that's necessary, of top OE quality, to be able to provide it downstream for somebody to put that on their vehicle, to make a choice. And so we are trying to gap that, back to your original question, for the age gap, from the new people coming in. They don't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't know until 5 or 6 years ago that this was an at-risk industry. And I'm going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But when, Bill showed what are we, 500 billion, 5 million employees. That's significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you want to see what that actual number is for the GPD, I'm not sure. And if you talk to some really, really smart people, they go, that, and you're in the 3% of the gross national, you're going, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a big piece of that pie. So
I'm glad you brought up right to repair. So I think we were all there, a few weeks ago in fall leadership days, and I had never done the Capitol Hill portion of that. Right. So I was fortunate enough to take part in that. So to your question about the next generation, these staffers that are working with the senators and the congressmen, they were so smart. So we were talking to them about right to repair and how important it is. And they're trying to understand, and we'd get a minute or two in, and then the light bulb would go off, and they're like, oh, this is a consumer choice bill. Like, exactly right. Consumer choice. If you don't say anything else to your boss, you tell them this is about consumer choice, and they got it. They were intuitive. They just understood. Then it was easy. The sell was easy.
Yeah.
So the next generation, super smart. They're different, and in a good way. So I think it's incumbent upon us, Brad and I, we need to make sure we're coaching them, not telling them, and we will all be successful.
This is you're going to have to edit this out, I'm sure. But when I did it, I was unable to be there last month. But when I did it 2 years ago, I'm sitting there, and then I said this during our prep meeting. This guy sitting next to me is 12. He's literally, I'm not sure he shaves, but he was brilliant. And he got it within minutes, and was taking all the notes for the congressman. And he did. And you're going, golly, this is
so impressive. So impressive.
It is.
Yes. You guys kind of answered my next question. I was going to ask for any tips for, well, I guess it could go both ways. Any tips for people managing the next generation of man reps, or any tips for the next generation coming up who wants to come up and grow as a man rep? Any tips?
Patience on our side of things.
Okay.
Senior management, We've been around.
Yeah.
Not saying we're old. So I've got a long way to go. I enjoy it. But the patience for me to try to do the explaining, do the telling, riding along with or whatever. I think it's a repetitive motion for that. Not to get frustrated with. I was not born with patience. I mean, my parents my kids damn sure could tell you that, but just to be able to listen from our, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Somebody said yesterday, or Wayne Gretzky did, I think he said, listen twice as much as you speak.
Yeah.
It's hard, Jackie. It really is, because we've done it. We know what we're talking about, and you're not listening. Then my patience or our patience have a tendency to dwindle. But I'm still learning. From that side of things for the younger generation. But they're way smarter than I am.
Having kids kind of helps build that.
It does.
I feel like it's like similar. My dad always had a joke. He would say, by the time you're good at it, you're out of a job. He was like, like it's a very negative way to look at it, but in so many ways, I feel like
I know what you mean.
true.
Yeah. I think, what I try and do is I just try and give some really consistent advice to the new people that are coming into the industry. And usually a friend of mine gave me a book years ago called Getting Naked by Patrick Lencioni. And it's a,
am I going to have to edit now?
No, it's a business book about being vulnerable in front of your customers, in front of your principals, right? The manufacturers that you represent. And I always try and give them a copy of that book. Said, read this way. It's a short book. So give them this book. And then I tell them this is it's a metaphor for exactly what we do. Brad and I and we do it intuitively. So, but I read it in this book and it's like always tell the truth, right? And you always don't be afraid to ask a dumb question, because certainly there's someone else in the room that has that same question, right? And it's little things like that, but it's a metaphor for what we do.
I love that.
So yeah, I try and be consistent in doing that. And I know others in our organization do the same thing.
I feel like I've made a career out of asking dumb questions.
But Darrell,
I know there's other people out there
if there's 5 people in a meeting and somebody's given a pitch, that there's questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
And there needs to be that somebody that just, listen, I know it's dumb, but I'm asking a dumb question. I'm just giving you a preface, but it usually works.
Yeah, it's valuable. That's valuable stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I know it flies by, but we're kind of at our time. You guys survived it. But if we're hoping that everybody walks away with one thing, what do you guys each hope that is?
It's a great business. We deal in relationships. And when you ask us what our closing thoughts would be, for me, it's about relationships, being honest, being in the moment, staying engaged, staying relevant, proving to our suppliers that they have hired for guns task force, however they want to look at it. But we are proving our value.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Well said. Yeah. I echo all of those sentiments. I would say for us, it would also be just being honest every day. You have to be who you are, and you have to tell the truth, and don't be afraid to tell the truth, right? If you don't know, just say you don't know. It's okay. You can get the answer and come back later. Yeah. It's okay. But it's just, you want to be, I never wanted to sell anybody anything. I'm not a salesperson. I view myself as more of a consultant, right? We try and put our arms around the customer and say, look, what I have may not be the right thing for you, but I'm going to show it to you. And if it is, great. And if it's not, it's okay.
Yeah.
So but I don't want to be that guy that comes in and
fire hoses somebody down trying to sell them everything you got.
I don't want to do that.
Not a good fit.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to be your trusted partner. That's what I want to be.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm hoping that people listen to this and, consider it as a, career option for you. Like if any of this sounds like fun, if you're a people person. You're a type A people person.
Yeah. I've been doing it a long time, and it is fun. Every day is different. It's
you
fun.
You smile a lot.
I still do it. I love it.
It's a great industry, and it's all about the people.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we're living in a good time in a bad time.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, but that's
say that,
perfect.
but
Well,
We-
and we're in an advantageous position. I mean, Bill Murray and Associates, fantastic organization.
Mhm.
I mean, good people. I'm fortunate enough to work for N.A. Williams Company. And they are just, they're so good to me. They're so good to my family. I mean, it's just, we're surrounded by good people.
That's
And that's what this industry is,
two
right?
family agencies, that
Yeah.
we're blessed to be
Yeah.
both employed with. So
Well, that's awesome.
you bet.
Thank you guys so much for this. I learned a lot. I know our audience will. I laughed a lot. My face hurts because I was silent for 40 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous about the whole thing, but I'm glad we were able to do it because if somebody listens and gets a spark to, take a look at that manufacturer's rep agency world, that
was worth it.
job accomplished.
You
Yes,
bet.
exactly.
You bet. You bet.
Thank you
Thank you,
guys.
Jackie.
Enjoy the
Thanks,
rest of the
Jackie.
show.
Thank you, Darrell.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, buddy.
You bet.